Alright. So there's a subject that I feel I must address. A subject that I kind of want to talk about. I really don't want to talk about the subject that I feel I must address. I don't want to talk about it yet. I need more time to wrap my mind around really what my perspective is. So you're going to have to give me a couple days maybe on that one. Today, I would like to talk about women's soccer. The team captain of the women's soccer team. I didn't know this at the time when I made my first video about the women's soccer team. And knowing what I know now, it doesn't really change anything that I said in the first video. I still support the team because they are the American representative to the World Cup, right? This isn't like they're a baseball team in country, right? Like it's not. This is the World Cup. They're playing against other countries. The team names are the United States, Spain, France, right? Like these other countries they're playing against. These are our representatives for that world sporting event. And so I support them because I support my country. Because I love my country. I feel very blessed to have been born here. Not privileged so much, because just being born here doesn't get you shit but citizenship. Everything else must be earned. Nevertheless, I feel very blessed to have had the opportunities that I've had in my life. And I am a representative of my country in so much that I post my videos to YouTube, I hang an American flag behind my head, and the world has the opportunity to watch me talk. I'd like to think that I'm at least your average stereotype of fucking just your average asshole American. Much of this I do for the yucks. Much of my personality is like a character I play. I'm always joking. I am. People know when I'm serious, or at least I look at people and go, seriously, you can't tell I'm serious right now. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody likes to play the game, but you know when I'm fucking being serious. But for the most part, I like to fuck around a lot. And a lot of people don't watch the entire video, and that's fair enough. I'm not saying that you have to, but generally I wrap up with kind of a more serious, here's my actual take on shit after I'm done fucking around with it. It's the way that I am. It's the reason why I'm so misunderstood. I laugh a lot about things because you either laugh or you fucking cry. But here we are. This one could be full of tangents, folks. I really want to talk about a different subject and I'm still rattling around in my head. This could be a practice run for that. I don't know. This could turn into anything from this point on. Nevertheless. So, I didn't know this at the time when I made my first video about the women's soccer team, and it doesn't change my opinion. But now, I've seen a picture of the captain of the women's team. I'm not going to show it. I'm going to describe it. You'll get it. Pink hair, cut short. Women's soccer player. there you go. So, when asked the question, are you excited to possibly go to the White House when you win the World Cup? She said, I ain't going to the fucking White House. To which the president responded, for some reason, why don't you win before you think about what you're going to do after you win? Which I gotta admit, really made me chuckle. But I think it's fair enough to say, most likely, they're going to win. They're not having the 13-0 blowouts that they had in the first round. But I think the team finally scored a goal on them in the last game. So, I'd say, I mean, they're like, what, 3-time champion? Like, this is their 4th fucking go at it or some shit like that. I think it's a fair bet. Most likely they'll win. Anything can happen. On any given Sunday, it's a game of inches, right? But soccer is really more of a game of yards, and I think that's why I don't like soccer as much as I like football. Anyways. They never bring out, like, rope and fucking see where the ball landed. I don't know, man. There's just... gotta get more excitement into it. I don't know. So, but yeah, the president also has extended an invitation to the women's team, win or lose. He said, you know what? You're the American representatives in the World Cup. I'll tell you what, I would like to shake each one of your ladies' hands and thank you for your service to this country, myself personally, whether you win the cup or not. And I'm like, well... I'm just like, dude, you know that nobody's going to take that seriously. Everybody's going to be like, he's being sarcastic. And I'm like, but he's most likely being serious. He's probably like, yeah, fucking come to the White House, man. You're the U.S. team. And probably, yeah, there's a lot of fucking snark to it as well. I'm sure it's not all... Well, I'm sure it's all feigned innocence, but nevertheless, I'm sure that there's some innocence to it. But mostly, I bet there's a whole lot of... But... And she doesn't, you know, she doesn't sing the anthem. She doesn't fucking... None of that shit. From what I understand, she hasn't been kneeling this year, so... That's cool. But she was a kneeler before. And I'm like, alright, look, man. Like, I get it. When it's football. When it's baseball. When it's shit like that. When it's in-house. I get it. But you're the captain of the U.S. women's soccer team. It says USA on your chest, you wear our colors. Yet you won't sing our anthem. You'll take the paycheck for playing the sport. But nevertheless, I think it's a poor representation when our captain is representing more the side that despises this country, though they live in the lap of luxury within it. I get it, man. We got problems. Sure. I get it. We got a lot of problems. And I also get that nobody wants to really talk about the fucking problems. One of the things that at first I absolutely hated doing, and then the more I got into it, the more I loved it. At work, I told you this is going to be tangent heavy. At work, we used to have these fucking meetings. They were called CAR meetings. I used to call them car meetings because it's CAR. That spells car. So I would go, when's the car meeting? And everybody'd go, car meeting? Like, I'm a fucking idiot because I'm pronouncing the word they have to spell. Yeah, the car meeting. When are we doing it? Corrective action reports. Companies that we dealt with, sold product to, they would want to have, whenever things would fuck up, they would want to know, how are you addressing this? Are you addressing this? What's going on with you? Are we going to run into this problem again? Because we used to give stuff, we used to send things to, car manufacturers and Aerospace. We did Aerospace for a while. Not the space part so much, but things that I used to make went into planes. None of the planes that have gone down recently, by the way. We're still good as far as I know. Nobody's knocked on my door yet to ask me any fucking questions, so I'm pretty sure all our stuff is still good going into the planes. I don't know. I haven't been with the company for a while, so I don't know if they're putting stuff in the planes that they're, having problems with now, but they don't work on electronic shit. So, nevertheless, Jesus fucking Christ. So we had these car meetings, and at the car meetings, the whole idea of it was, the problem was this, and they want to know what the fuck we're doing about it. And we had to find the root of the problem. The root of the problem. Have to find the root of the problem. They have to fucking, whatever. Find the problem. We had to find the problem, right? The root of the problem. And so, in the warehouse that I ran, I had to do all of the cars, right? I had to do them all up good, right? In the tailpipe. I had to do all the cars because my boss was a lazy fuck, and I don't give a shit. She was a lazy fucking piece of shit, and I despise her. I still do. It's been years, and I still don't like her. She was a lazy piece of shit. And so I had to do all the car report shit, right? But at first I hated it, and then I started to love it because you have to really dig to find the problem, right? We got a lot of problems that we don't want to talk about because we don't want to talk about the fucking problems, right? We dance around the problems, and we love to blame ourselves for the problems, right? So, until we start actually talking about the fucking problems, nothing's gonna get solved. And when you do things like poorly represent our country, makes us look bad on the world stage, makes us look divided, makes us look weak. What is it? A house divided cannot stand. I think somebody who wasn't racist said that. I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully it was somebody who wasn't racist so that we won't fucking erase them from history. But nevertheless, somebody in our history said, a house divided cannot stand. I think it was Lincoln, so I think we're good there, right? Or maybe it was Washington. I don't know. He could have owned slaves. I haven't a fucking clue anymore. Until they start knocking down fucking statues, I don't know. But nevertheless, right? It makes us look bad. And that's a problem. I think I found a root of the problem. Pink hair. It seems to be the only thing that bridges all situations. It's always pink hair of some sort. Another story from my old job. I think I had been running an extrusion machine a week, something like that. To say that I knew fairly much nothing about the machine would have been generous. I knew nothing about the machine. I knew how to change the rolls. I knew how to fill the fucking bucket underneath the hopper hose. And I knew how to fill out all the paperwork because I can read numbers and write them down, right? At the very least, I can copy symbols, however you want to refer to it. So, you know, the fucking material's getting holes in it. That's not good, right? This is shit. I'm running shit now. My supervisor comes in, and he's sitting there looking at my fucking machine. I'm sitting at the desk, listening to the radio, waiting to fucking change the roll or do something else because I don't know what else to do other than that, right? And he's like, come here. And I go over, and he points at a hole. And I'm like, oh shit. And he points at the next hole. And I'm like, yeah, what do we do about that? And he points at the hole, and I'm like, what do I do? I don't know what the fuck to do. You're my fucking boss. You're supposed to be training me. What do we do? And he's like, fix it. And I'm like, right? We are all kind of turning into people like that asshole. We point at the problem. We call people over and point at the problem. And then everybody goes, what do we do? Fix it. We're running out of problem solvers, I think. We used to elect our problem solvers to positions of power in our country so that they could solve problems. They've become the problem. They're more interested in keeping their jobs and making sure that they keep control. I'm not talking about any specific side. Fuck them both. They're more interested in keeping control than they are fixing the problems. As far as I am concerned, I see one person in our government who is actually attempting to solve problems. Who is not pointing at the fucking problem and going, fix it. He's going, I'm going to fix that. And he's maneuvering every day. Every day I hear some new thing about how he's trying some new thing to fix the problem. And you know what else I hear? He's racist. Because he's trying to fix the problem. That isn't a problem. It's a made up problem. He made the problem. It's all his fault. Awesome. Yeah, great. Meanwhile, we erect sanctuary cities and then bitch and complain because he's sending all of the illegal people to sanctuary cities. He's sending them to sanctuary. They're asking for sanctuary, and he's sending them to places for sanctuary. They're called sanctuary cities. That's what they do there, right? Everybody come here. Sanctuary. And they're bitching. Why are you sending all these people here? It's inhumane to send them to sanctuary. Fix it. But anyways, back to women's soccer. We got a lot of problems. But not singing the anthem, pink hair, these aren't solutions. These are new problems. Stop making fucking problems.